Hey everyone, TimaeuSS here, and welcome to another AFK Journey video. And there's some information that's been floating out regarding what you can do to your epic hero pool, the wish list, to make sure that you have a fantastic explosive run towards your Supreme Plus or a Paragon level rush. Now, I'm going to take a look at what is the suggestion currently and why I don't think this is meant to be for everyone. But I think it's a pretty cool, neat, and interesting trick that a lot of people don't know about. So let's take a look. Now, the premise or the focus of this strategy is basically, instead of putting S level hero units that I have been doing, or most of the people have been doing, you actually put in all A level units. You put them in and you focus on pulling dupes of the A level units, and your percentages are going to look different because you're either going to get the A level epic units, or you're gonna, the S level epic units, which are multiple copies of the A level. I think it's 5 if you pull, and then the rest of course are still your A level units. This is essentially allowing you to pull more copies of these units to push, because they're lower rarity, to push for higher levels of characters that are really fantastic in PvE. If you take a look at the units that are here, oldie of course, this Damien's used for PvP Omega stock comps, and corner again Dream Realm focus teams, even Coco is there. So you can see, if you look at my current box, I'm working towards oldie, and I'm working towards even units like Coco later on. But here you can see my oldie is only at the mythic. I wanted mythic plus at the very minimum, if not supreme plus. But you can see how you know, this would be actually pretty damn helpful for players that are trying to push for higher rarities of these PvE, top tier PvE characters. So by doing this optimization in the A level or S level exchange, you basically put in all of the A level units here. For example, Sylviana for assassinating oldie here, Damien, Corin, and Coco. You have a much better chance of pulling these A level units, pulling more dupes to push for more copies and reaching the next stage, unlocking exclusive weapons or just the upgrade. So yes, that is certainly very interesting. Now, the downside is kind of obvious as well. You're not pulling any of the S tier units. If you look at the S level characters, you can see that some of them are really good. You've got the really strong Iron, which of course also requires multiple copies. You have your Smokey, right? And you have your Thoran. Arguably, in my honest opinion, for free-to-play players, these units, especially Thoran, Smokey, are so important that if you're using your recruitment tickets for the epic pool on these A level units, it's going to be a very tough run for you as you rush towards the end game. This is only for players that are, you know, able to spend small dolphins or even whales to push for a higher Paragon level. But even then, I don't suggest it, because if you're spender, you want to maximize the amount of money you're spending, and certainly not going to for A level units, since you can get them regardless, and you're not guaranteed to get, for example, oldie every single time. So it's very difficult for me to look at this strategy and say that you know what, the amount of min-max involved is definitely worth it, because I don't think it is. And for uber whales, I mean, you don't care about supreme levels of Paragons, because you're gonna get there. I have someone in my guild where the #1 guild in Silver 1 that is already Paragon 4, maxed everything. So why would they even put or consider A level units in there if they are gonna pull everything and max everything? So I think epic levels, because the resource is so hard to come by, you still want to pull S level dupes or obtain a copy of these S level units and focus down your resources. I could see a case being made into these mid late-ish game where, you know, you have all the important S levels maxed. So for example, here I've got my Thoran, Iron, and Smokey maxed, so I can, you know, have 3 extra slots for units like I want to max my Huon, I want to max my Caroline. But in the min-max, quote-unquote min-max A level push, then it would actually be oldie, and I would put in someone like Damien or Arden for damage. So even considering Sylvina for PvP assassination purposes. But overall, I don't think this is the optimal way to go about essentially you're going for min max, but you're kind of gimping the rest of your team. So as it stands, I will still most likely do my previous build, the Shakir, and then looking into Rowan, even though I don't use Rowan as much anymore, and Caroline I definitely do use a lot into you know what, instead of pulling for a copy of TimaeuSS, I will actually do Odin for that. I think that is not bad, especially my Odin is not even Mythic Plus yet. And then the last but certainly not least, we can do Coco and instead take Rowan off and then go with Hewen instead to try and get her to Mythic Plus. A Supreme Plus actually, because mine is I have multiple copies of her already. So this is essentially my edited pool. Again, taking some advice from, you know, going and focusing on other units, even A levels, just to get multiple copies of their dupes. But personally for me, it's not that big of a deal. My A levels units are not that important compared to the S level units I want to max, but it's very interesting to see how they've essentially made this suggestion on just hyper focusing on all A level units, so you can pull multiple dupes, and that allows you to basically push a Supreme Plus because you're pulling more copies, and also Paragon levels. But you do need to know that if you do that, the A levels that are getting leveled up also cost more dupes. So that is something else people need to understand. Look how many dupes OD is going to need before reaching Mythic Plus. So I understand that the pulling one of the S version of him gets like 5 or something, but it's still a lot more dupes for going to Mythic Plus. So choose wisely. Personally, I don't really recommend it, but I think it is a very cool strategy that people have found. So yeah, OD is definitely worth it to be in that slot, but I'm not sure about everyone else, because you can see I have all of the other units at Supreme Plus, and even I think my Carolina is Supreme, so 2 more copies to Supreme Plus, and then Supreme Plus Thoran, so all the cores are done, and a Hewen, 2 more copies for Supreme Plus in that regard. So yeah, anyhow, it's TimaeuSS here. Let me know your thoughts and this strategy. Is it worth it, or is it just a gimmick? It certainly will be helpful in PvE boss fights. You can see here that all of my guildies are currently ranked 1, 2, and 3. Scarlet. Very nice to see. But yeah, you could make a case for doing PvE focused content, and making sure that, you know, for the Dream Realm, you do try to secure the 100% to get the rewards. And with that, you're gonna need units like Oldie and all that stuff. So let me know your thoughts regarding this, and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye now.